Hello and welcome back to Brendan Moyer's Playwright Corner, where I read plays, poems, or whatever's currently striking my fancy at the moment. Today we're going to be finishing out our Strindberg escapade with The Great Highway, a wayfaring drama with 7 stations, written just before his death in 1909. The characters in order of appearance are the hunter, the hermit, the traveler, Miller Adam, Miller Eve, Miller Adam's wife, the girl, the schoolmaster, the blacksmith, the waitress, the organ grinder, the photographer, Euphrosyne, Goddard, Clara, the Japanese, Mueller the murderer, the child, the woman, and the tempter. During Scene 7, The Dark Wood, Chopin's Nocturne 13, Opus 48, No. 1 is played, softly in the distance until the end of the play. Scene 1. In the mountains. A signpost with 2 arms, one pointing upwards, the other down. A background of dark thunderclouds. Later the storm breaks. The hunter enters and looks at the signpost. The hunter. Where have I got to? And how far have I come? There the track leads up and there goes down. Descents the common way. I want to rise. And yet the signpost has thrown out its arms, as if in warning of the upward way. Danger then, many dangers on that path, so narrow and so steep. That does not scare me. I delight in danger. But I must pause here for a little while, and breathe, and think, gather up and find myself again. Myself which they stole from me. I lived too long among humanity and gave away my soul, my heart, my thoughts. The rest they took, they stole. They fettered me with friendliness, with gifts I did not want. Yes, it was warm down there, passing from home to home with fair spread tables, music and flowers, glasses, light. But it grew too warm and stifled me, and so I cast my moorings. Threw overboard my ballast, all that weighed, however dear, and see, I rose. Here I can breathe my heart's seed leaves. The tender lungs can open to the air. No dust, no smoke, no breath breathed by another poison my blood. White, pure snow of sublimated vapor. Water diamonds, you lily flowers crystallized from frost. You flower of heaven strain through the cloud's black sifter. Oh, blessed silence. Draw your silken quilt over the head of a tired traveler, who seeks his bed while whispering this prayer. What's to the north? A cliff of slate. A cloud like a schoolroom blackboard, and yet unwritten on. What a din! Now comes the teacher, and silence falls upon the class. Nature is silent when the great teacher speaks. Look now! A lightning flash from east to west. In flaming ink he writes his name on blue-black cloud. I know thee. Eternal, unseen, yet seen, thou stern compassionate. The mountain firs bow down. The brooks are mute and still. The frightened chamois falls to knee. The vulture bends his naked head. All nature trembles before the mighty Lord Creator. And I, who took his name in vain, I bow myself in shame, meanest of all before thy mighty throne. Look! The clouds burst. The curtain pulled is drawn aside. What do I see? You lovely earth, you temptress pulling me down again. How you have decked yourself in green of hope and blue of faith and the rose red of love. The pine tops painted by the setting sun. The cypresses of tombs and night. A marble temple set on high to honor or to happiness. A grotto. the grey Sibyl's home who scares the nymphs from olive groves. Here comes the sun. What a sparkle of frost's rose diamonds. The clouds are edged with silver, the blue-black capes are hung out in the wind to air. But what is this? Who veils the sun and draws a shadow on the pure white snow? Imperial eagle, gold-breasted Chrysatos, knight of the air in gilded mail with a knight's chain around your neck. What? Are you sinking? Do you seek the valley when wings tire and your rudder tails no power to steer your course aloft? Yes, that's his will. Down, down to rest and breathe the breath of warm humanity, and smell the fragrances of the clover fields. For surely there it's summer still. There water falls down from the clouds like pearls, here it's like brilliant square-cut diamonds. There the brook chirps, here it's struck dumb. Here wastes of snow, although white flowers, down there white daisies. Up here, down there, hither, thither, one is driven to equal good and equal ill. Enter the hermit. The hermit. Whither? Quo vadis, traveller? You have come halfway, and now look back. Excelsior, that's been your motto hitherto. Is it so still? What are you seeking here? Myself. The self I lost down there. What have you lost down there? Surely you cannot find again up here. That's true. Yet were I to go down, I lose still more, not to find what I have lost. You fear for your skin? Not for my skin, but for my soul. You do not love your fellow beings? Yes, all too much. Therefore I fear them too. To love is to give. Give! But they will not receive. They only take. Nor will they take the gift without the giver too. The shepherd gave himself for the sheep. Dust unto dust. But the spirit belongs to God. You fence well with your tongue. You ought to wield the pen. In any case, half of your life is gone. Don't force the issue. Premature birth can never bring you to full growth. Live your life out. Return and do not fear. The highway's dusty, brush it off. Ditches on either side, fall in, but rise again. Where you find gates, jump over, creep under, lift the latch. When you meet people, take them in your arms. They will not bite. But if they bite, what harm? If you are ducked, then shake the water off. Scatter your coins, they'll come up to you again. Up here there is not anything to win. For stone is stone and snow is snow. But human nature is another thing. I know that well. Could I but sit among the audience and watch the play. But I must mount the stage, take part and act. And once I play a part, I'm lost, forgetting who I am. Who are you? Well said. Now let us stop. Truly it is too cold for me up here. Enter the traveller. The air is somewhat thin, and it is lonely. But look, here's company. Queer fellow. Coming from above. Looks a bit fagged. Halt, you traveller. The traveller. I come from the mountain tops. I bathed in air but could not stay in air, so clad myself again to journey further, with company or without, but rather with. What is that country in the distance, hermit? It is called the country of desires. Of pious desires? Pious or pagan, whichever they may be. Well, I'm to have company, I see. With whom have I the honor? I am a soldier. During the following speech, the hermit goes out. And I a traveller. One travels best incognito, and, mark my words, one should always make acquaintance but never get to know. In fact, one never can. One only thinks one knows. And so, in company, neither friend nor enemy. 2 steps behind us. Not too close. On. And down, the route is clear. A slope up, a slope down, and in a stop, a little glass, but keeping always to the southern course. With sun as beacon, we'll not lose our bearings. It will not fail, that watchman never sleeps. I think our hermit's left us. Well, let him go. He is no place down there where our way lies. He has made his choice and bade the world farewell. He may perhaps be right. Don't look up there. Humanity and vanity rhyme as hither thither. But we do not go thither. We go hither. Scene 2. At the windmills. Against a background of cloudy sky stand 2 windmills known as Adam and Eve. The traveller and the hunter are sitting at a table outside an inn drinking. The traveller. How still it is here in the valley. Too still to suit the miller. Sleeping no matter how much water runs. Waiting for wind and stormy weather. Which unrewarding business rouses in me a certain aversion for windmills. Just as it did in the noble knight Don Quixote de la Mancha, who did not, however, trim his sails to the wind, but quite the reverse, which is why he got into difficulties. What are we doing? Playing beggar, my neighbour? Sir Incognito, why do you drink so much? As I'm always lying on the operating table, I chloroform myself. Then we'll ask no more. Perhaps I said too much. To think that I can't guess what you are. Stop trying to guess. It's far pleasanter. Certainly, yes. It's been cloudy all day today. Let me drink a bit more. Then you'll see it's clearing up. Drinks. Do you know Greek? Do you understand what inos means? Inos means wine. Yes, it means wine. So you are educated, are you? Noli me tangere. Do not touch me, I sting. Have you noticed that a grape is like a bottle? And its tendrils like a corkscrew? The implication's clear. But the juice of the grape has none of the characteristics of chloroform. So the grapes have been crushed underfoot and rotted in dregs and giraffe. So that the spirit of wine is set free from the filthy body of matter, and rises to the surface like sea foam, out of which Aphrodite was born, naked, without even a vine leaf to cover herself, for clothes are only a consequence of sin. Are you always as serious as this? Are you always as frivolous as this? Which of us 2 is the more inquisitive? Now he is stretching out his tentacles, obeying the universal law of attraction, followed by mutual repulsion, which is why it's best to keep 2 steps apart and march in open file, according to the agreement made day and date as above. Full stop. Here come the actors. Miller Adam and Miller Eve appear in the distance. The traveller. May I borrow your pince-nez? I can't see very well. Takes the hunter's glasses. What's this on the glass? It's like hoarfrost or crystallized water. Or salt. A tear that is dried. Warm at the source, very soon it cooled and became rock salt. The steel of the bridge has rusted. He weeps often, but in secret. Rivulets of tears have carved a course down from the eyes to the smiling mouth, to quench the smile that would kindle a laugh. Poor human being. Your mask is torn, and when you show your teeth, one cannot tell if it's a bite or a smile. The play is beginning. An idyll of the windmills. A pastoral in a minor major key. We'll watch. The Millers take the stage. Miller Adam. True, neighbour. Today we're both in the same boat, as there's no wind at all. All the same, I'm thinking of having your mill moved, as you interfere with my progress. Miller Eve. You mean I take the east wind from you? On the other hand, you take the west wind from me. So we're quits. Miller Adam. But my mill was here first, and yours was just built out of malice. Things go badly for both of us now, so it would be better if they went well for one of us. For you mean? Miller Adam. For you mean? Miller Eve. Yes, of course. Miller Adam. But when I said one of us, I meant the better of us. The one who has right on his side. Which would that be? Miller Adam. Is it for us to judge in this matter? I have a better grain bolter than you. And my Eve grinds quicker too, turns more easily and has new sails. But my Adam was built before your Eve. And my mill hopper is made of boxwood. Stop. We'll ask those gentlemen over there. The Traveller. So now we're to be dragged into it. The Hunter. They'll grab us as witnesses. Perhaps even as judges. In order later on to override our judgment. Enter the wife of Miller Adam. Wife. Come along now, husband, and have your dinner. Wait a bit. I can't do that. You should learn never to be in a hurry. Never. Never. So long as the world remains and the word holds good. And the cabbage will get cold. Is it cabbage? Well, that's another matter. I'll come at once. And the world will come to an end. And the word hold good no more. Did I say that? Then I take it back. They go out. The Traveller. He sold his birthright. The Hunter. For a mess of cabbage. And that's that. But now we're to be set on by the Eve Miller. Look, now he's spying on us. And hesitating. He wants something of us. Some bit of information to increase his knowledge. Look, how he's examining our clothes, shoes, hair, and beards. He's a thief. Miller Eve. Excuse me. The Traveller. He's trying to trick us into talking. Don't answer. Where have you gentlemen come from? It's none of your business. Strictly speaking, no. Well, we are speaking strictly. So be off with you. I wasn't going to pinch anything. That wouldn't be easy in any case. On the contrary, I was going to give you something. We don't need anything. Huh. Well, there it is. I was going to give you gentlemen something, and ask nothing for it, a bit of information, a useful bit of information. They're at work blasting rock just behind there, and 1, 2, 3 will get a shower of stones on our heads. The Traveller and the Hunter spring up. The Traveller. Why on earth didn't you say so at once? You wouldn't listen. But sit down again, there's no rush. The blasters will give the alarm first. The Traveller. Look here, is this the way to the Promised Land? This is the straight way. The Traveller. Will the weather hold till the afternoon? We can expect more thunder. It's very unsettled in this district. All year round? Always unsettled. The whole year round, year out, year in. The Traveller. What is the next village called? That's none of your business. Certainly it's pleasanter to give than to take, but to be robbed isn't pleasant at all. Thief! Have you a pass? The Traveller. What for? There are robbers in the woods, and everyone who won't say where he comes from must be examined. The Hunter. Now we are in it up to our necks. The Traveller. And it's not exactly an idyll of the windmills we are in. I'll go and fetch my neighbour and his men. Then we can establish alibis. The Traveller. That's a queer idea. Miller Eve. Well, you see, I'm the parish constable, and my neighbour's the parish clerk. Exit. The Traveller. So now Herod and Pilate have become friends. The Hunter. I really started out to gain my own soul. but he who seeks to gain shall lose. Let's cast ourselves into the throng again, at the risk of sinking, without reaching the bottom, thanks to a certain life belt which intelligent people wear. The girl enters. Here comes a woman, as one might expect in the vicinity of Adam and Eve, without, however, expecting any paradise. Full stop. Now the scene begins. I think it's advisable to take the offensive. What is your name, my pretty child? The girl. Guess. The traveler. Let me see. Fair. Miller's daughter, not very tall, round face. Your name's Amelia. How did you know? By your appearance. If I'd been dark and tall, with an oval face, what would I have been called then? As a blacksmith's daughter. Jenny, of course. That's right. Now you've had all this from me. What do I get in return? You get... Tell me, where did you learn this gift of reading people? From life, experience, certain books, an innate superior intelligence, and a good portion of acquired acuteness. Now, my dear, why won't you have the son of your neighbor Miller? So you know that too. But you ought to take him. Then the mill problem will be settled out of court. You will sell one of the mills and have it moved into the next parish, where it is so badly needed. How wise. How very wise you are. But I see you don't want the miller's boy. You'd rather have one of the robbers from the forest, eh? The one with the black eyes and big mustaches. I'm beginning to be frightened. Are you a fortune teller? As you see. But I can only tell the fortunes of young people. Why is that? Because old people are so cunning. The girl, to the hunter. Is that true? Don't talk to him. He doesn't want to be involved. Talk to me. Give me something in exchange for all you have learnt in this one short moment. Otherwise you'll be in my debt, and you wouldn't like that. Very well. You shall have something, so you will go away from here rewarded, richer than you came, loaded with knowledge for which I ask nothing. That's a likely story. To begin with, I'm not called Amelia. But Jenny, wait, what did I say? No, not that either. Secondly, there is no miller's son. Thirdly, the next parish already has 4 windmills, so the mill problem would still be unsolved. And now for 1 or 2 bits of advice into the bargain. Don't be so familiar with a strange girl. You never know to whom you are talking, however observant you think you are. And don't be disloyal to a friend when a third person comes along, or else when you are alone again and need him, he may not be there. I haven't been disloyal, yes. Just now, in order to gain my favor, you tried to make him look ridiculous. That wasn't nice. Now you are on the defensive. And if you were to ask me my name now, I wouldn't answer as you answered the miller when he was trying to save you from the robbers in the forest. The hunter, rising. Won't you have a seat, young lady? It's true I am a young lady. From the manor, and not a miller's daughter. To the traveller. Go to the miller and give him my compliments. Then you'll get the pass. Go on. Just give him my compliments. But I must know your name. The girl, sitting down. I don't give my name to strangers. And if you were a respectable man, you wouldn't ask for it. Go along. Exit the traveller. You are lucky. You who roam the world meeting people, get to know them. The hunter. Know them. True. One cannot know. But one grows acquainted. Scarcely even that. But guessing riddles is a way to pass the time. Because what's said does not mean much. Just so it has to be translated. For every language is a foreign one, and foreigners we are each to each other, all travelling incognito. Incognito even to ourselves. You have a grief, and yet are not in mourning. You dress as miller girl, yet are a lady. And your companion? Only an acquaintance, and entirely unknown. What do you think of him? Everything and nothing. So far I haven't summed him up. What were you doing up there? Breathing. And forgetting. But why forget? Without memory our life is nothing but an empty waste. And with it, a cargo foundering the ship. Ships without cargo most easily capsize. Therefore one takes a ballast and takes in the sails. Like a windmiller. Yes. Otherwise the wings would break. But it turns better on the heights. Best of all down there. Out on the plains, where the air is so dense you can see for miles. Can count the country churches with the naked eye. There all the stars of night appear, not on the horizon, but in the zenith. The zenith is everywhere, once the horizon has been reached. Tell me, was I once there? You are there now, where you strove to get this very morning. Is it not sweet to find the new when the old is won? And that country in the distance. Press on and you will reach it. But if you tire, it will recede. No mortals reach the pole star in the zenith. Yet still they journey and return. And others travel the same road and are forced back. Do as they do, but learn while on the way. One drags and dredges, nose down in the nadir, but eyes time from time lift to the zenith. A horn sounds. The hunter, alert. Do you hear? I hear, but I do not understand. I will translate. You hear only sound, but I hear words. What does the horn say? Give answer now. Where are you? Where? The horn answers. Here. The girl. Is someone calling you? The horn is heard again. The hunter. Come hither. Come hither, come hither, hither. I hear you are a soldier. I see it, rather. They are calling you. We part as briefly as we met. Not quite so briefly. Not so lightly. Come with me. Just a little way to the next village. As your companion? Such ones are found at the bar of every inn. How cruel you are. I have been to war. There are the words onward. Never stop. So I must go or else I'll stop. If you go, you will take something with you. If I stop, you will have taken something from me. The hunter, looking off. Look. They are quarreling. In a moment they'll fight. They're fighting. And I shall be called as witness. But you must go. You must not be involved. Are you really thinking of me? Of you. For you, with you, and through you. And now, farewell. A flower seen through the garden fence for a moment delighting the traveller's eye. fairest unpicked, its fragrance lingering a while on the wind, and then it is gone. And so, onward. Goodbye. And so, onward. The girl exits. The hunter. Now I am sunk. Bound, trapped, dragged between grindstones of the law. Wings caught in a web of emotion. Allied with a stranger and involved in a matter which does not concern me. Enter the traveler. The traveler. Are you still here? I thought you'd gone. You must really have a faithful disposition. Did you get into a fight? I gave the miller a punch on the jaw for making a fool of me. All that stuff about blasting and robbers in the forest was a pack of lies. And now we're summoned to appear at the autumn assize. I as defendant, you as witness. Did you give our names then? No. I took 2 names at random. The hunter. What a risk. Now they can have us up for perjury as well. Going and getting oneself tangled up in this way. What did you call me then? I said you traveled under the name incognito. That satisfied the yokels? Am I to give evidence against you? Yes, in 3 months' time. Let's make the most of our liberty and get going. They say there's some festivity in the next village. What sort of festivity? Oh, a kind of battle of flowers. And an ass's gala, at which the biggest dunce in the village gets a crown of gold paper. How very odd. What's this village called? It's called Assesdean. And this one's called Liarsbourne because only liars live here. And then they marched. Parasagas 3 leagues. And so they did. They march out together.